Hi. Hello, random person who's watching this. I don't know if it's lunchtime where you guys are, but over here it's about 1:44 p.m. So I'm now taking my lunch break. I can take it at any time. Um, 1:44 is pretty late to eat lunch, but I get hungry later, I guess, because I have a pretty big breakfast. And if my video finally uploaded, then you know at what time I eat breakfast. So my lunch is pretty small. Today I have an empanada that my dad prepared. I have them like frozen in the fridge from the last time my dad came to visit. They're pizza empanadas. They're so good. It's like his own recipe that he taught me. Delicious. And also just some supplements. We got flaxseed oil, vitamin B, and iron. Also, be careful with the vitamin B. Don't take vitamin B supplements every day. Take them like twice a week because like I had to take them because like I need the vitamin B12 and stuff because I'm vegetarian. But this is where it gets funny. If you drink vitamin B every day, your folate goes up. It's gonna happen. Your folate will go up, and so you may think, oh, there's no such thing as like excess folate. Like it's not that's not bad, right? It causes headaches and stuff, it was causing me headaches, and that's like the only thing it'll cause. But it gets annoying after a while, so take them twice a week. Um, okay. Okay. I was waiting for the vitamins because I always take them with food. So bon appetit. I hope that you're eating too. Cheers. Let's dig in. Mm. Heck yes. It's so good. This is like a weird thing to videotape, but I was eating alone a lot for a couple of months. I live alone. I moved to this place alone for a job. I wonder if anyone else is in the same boat I am, but I often have lonely lunches, and I just think like sometimes I wish I wasn't so alone and I had someone to eat with me. Hmm? I have friends though. I eat dinner with friends, I go out, but for lunch, I'm in my apartment. I'm not gonna like ask a friend every time I have lunch. I need someone like to eat with me. Like I'm not. I enjoy my own company. I think that's good to enjoy your own company. I'm just saying. Like I don't live with someone yet, so it's like um I guess like every like having a lonely lunch every day is it gets to a point, you know. Mm, so good. That is so good. So today I've just been working a lot, doing a lot of like Excel sheets and files. It has not been fun. A lot of plug and chug that I was doing in the Excel, the routine stuff. So, mhm. But I gotta study now. So I have an exam on Thursday, and I really have to study. So right after I'm done with this lunch, this will be a quick video. I am going to eat. Eat. Oh my god, I'm gonna study. Has anyone been watching The Boys? I started watching The Boys. Okay, so when I first saw The Boys on Prime, it was like when it first came out. I hadn't seen any promo for it. I hadn't heard anyone talk about it. It was the first time I saw The Boys. I didn't know what it was. I was just scrolling through, and I suddenly saw like The Boys, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't interest me. And then I saw created by Eric Kripke, who created my favorite TV show, Supernatural. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I hit play, I saw the first episode, and I fell in love. That is such a good show. Because not only is it creative and it's, well written, it has interesting characters, it's funny, as well as like filled with action and stuff, and it's like very cool. I love comic books, I love comics, I love superheroes. Like I have a whole thing there dedicated to Superman. Like I think that's cool. But it's the fact that they use that platform and that story to do political commentary. And I think that's such a smart way of doing it. Like, I just thought that when I saw that first episode and William Butcher takes Huey to like the Times Square, I guess, and all like everything is filled with like I guess like commercial ads but all of the ads feature the super people, and it's all about the people in power. They're the ones that is all over the screen, and whether you like it or not, it's in your face all the time. You can't escape it. I thought that was such an interesting take, because that's how it is. The people in power everywhere, whether you like it or not. And maybe it's not like as obvious that they're in your face, but they own everything. So Vought, like literally, what Vought is, it also exists in the real life. Obviously, it's not superhero, and they're not like that, but they do like in Vought. They say in the last episode that came out, the writer, the mole guy that digs, he said, oh, Vault only does this for the money, not that I know, because they don't release the numbers. And there's a certain corporation who also doesn't release the numbers. So I thought that was very just like straightforward, like going for the throat, And I don't know, I think it was like so just like that metaphor of like the abuse of power, Like when people are in positions of power, they often abuse it. The abuse of power, and then make it seem literal, the abuse of a superpower. And I just love that idea. It's funny to me that people that started watching the show didn't like get that right away. No, when they started making it a little bit more obvious that was like the metaphor, they're like, it's woke. I'm so tired of that. Like, why is not blindly following the government woke, It's like not even, I don't know. But it's definitely not one side or another. Like, the abuse of power and like shoving things down the throat in the government, like private companies having influence over the government, over the country, that happens under any administration. It's not one side or the other. I'm just saying that like the followers of one side often don't question it as much, I've noticed, which kind of sucks, but okay. And it's not a conspiracy theory again. That show is so good though. I got so excited when I saw not just Jensen Ackles. I feel like every person who loved Supernatural got really excited when Jensen Ackles came out as Soldier Boy. Like, obviously that was cool, but I got really excited when Bobby came out. Like when Robert Singer was like running for his campaign, and I literally screamed. I was like, oh my god, like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme when Bobby came on and he said balls and idiots while playing golf in that season finale. That was like such a good scene. I was like, Eric Kripke is giving a little Easter egg there, because if you think about it, the way that he had like the character dynamics between Billy and Huey, it was very similar to Dean and Sam. Dean being Billy and Sam being Huey. Like, we know that Billy had a little brother that he cared after and that he was trying to protect, and that his dad was abusive. That's exactly like how Dean was with Sam. He wanted to protect Sam, and their dad was abusive. Not in the same way, but it wasn't a great dad, and they had a lot of resentment towards their dad. But that was like Dean's whole thing. I want to protect Sam. So when Lenny dies, which is Billy's brother, he's like, Huey reminds me of Lenny. I want to protect Huey. But in a sense, he gets so caught up with like getting rid of the soups, which is exactly what Dean, like once a couple of episodes, he's like, oh, we have to eradicate all the demons. And then Sam is like, or like all the monsters. And then Sam is like, but we're not even giving them a chance to be like good or not. Like we're just eradicating them for being monsters. I mean, that's exactly the dynamic between Billy and Huey as well. So I really do, I love that dynamic. And I love that Eric Kripke brought that back into the show. I think I've said this before, but like Supernatural was also just a goated show. Very good. Something that I have noticed about this season, though, is that some of the characters, I feel like what made them individually unique, like what made them have their own personality, kind of got like blended into one character. So, for example, I feel like Annie in the beginning of the show, like something about her is that she's very like nice and she sees the good in everyone, and she didn't really like curse in the beginning. Like her whole thing was being a small town girl or whatever. And I like that she's coming out of her shell and she's sort of being more like not being a pushover and standing her ground. That's amazing. I love that. But I feel like there's like a point where she's no longer acting like herself. She's acting like MM and like a mix of MM, Billy, and Frenchie. Like the way that they act, which is like tough and they curse and they're like, boo, boo, we don't care. And Huey's also acting that way, even though Huey was also like a super sweet person who was like the voice of reason and who's kind. So I'm like, my question is, and then so Kamiko's talking now, which is like fine, but she's not exactly saying the things that she used to say in Sign. But I thought it was interesting because in Sign she would always say like really out of pocket things. So the out of pocketness of that she's saying out loud, that didn't affect me. I noticed that some people watching were like, why is she being so weird? I'm like, she was always like that. That's not what affects me. What I think is weird is that she's also just like, they kind of maintained her to be, sweet and want a normal life. Like they have shown that throughout the whole show that she just wanted to be normal. So I like that they kept that. I guess Kimiko isn't really a problem. This is Huey and Annie, but they're just acting like the collective that is the boys and not so much like themselves. And I feel, I don't know. Another thing is that Billy was always, I was just about to say that Billy was always like tough and I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Impulsive. But he wasn't like evil, he was like, that always bothered me is that, excuse me. Something that always bothered me is that Huey and MM and Frenchie in the beginning of the show, they'd always be like, Billy's such a dick. Billy's such a dick. Like he's so this bad. Like he's bad. And I'm like, he's not like a bad guy. He's just like kind of mean, but he has the good intentions, And I feel like slowly it seemed like his intentions weren't that good. Not so much now, but like when he killed Victoria, it was like, what? Like that seemed just so random to me. Like, cause it's like he was always smart. He thought tactically. He thought about planning. So it's like, why would you kill a very powerful soup who could help you? And I get that Marie is in the picture, but it just felt like out of character. But now that I say that, Because I was also going to say that him killing his dad was also just like crazy because his dad is in a soup and he knows that killing humans is wrong. And he hasn't killed his dad in all this time. He could have. But then I thought about it and I'm like, well, he knows he's going to die. One, because he's planning on killing himself because he's a soup now. But also, who says that having powers doesn't change you a little bit? So notice when he became like this, it was like since he got his powers. Who's to say that he's not immune to also being a victim of power abuse, of also being the one, I should say, to abuse their powers a bit? I mean, why, like everyone else who gets powers in the show, it seems like when they get powers, they abuse it, you know? So why should he be any different? And I guess he didn't. He will abuse that. He will kill his dad. So I take back what I said. That makes sense. Mm. And so this episode we just watched, was the one that they go like into the woods and they fight each other, and they find that guy that's on the wall that apparently Soldier Boy knew, and then Soldier Boy like blows up the guy that's the blue guy that's on the wall. And we find out that like the atom bomb simulator made Homelander sick. And what I thought was cool was that Soldier Boy got like emotional when he saw that kid, and then when he realized that he killed him out of because he was under the effect of that anger toxin, that anger drug that made them all really angry and fight each other. After he killed that, like exploded and killed that guy that he apparently knew, he cried and he, like, we see emotions behind him. Like, we've always known that he's a bully, but he's not like psycho or messed up or anything like that, or doing it for like glorious reasons. He's just a bully. So we see there that like humanity in him. But what I thought was interesting was that Homelander saw that and didn't hurt him, because we thought that he would hurt him as payback for putting him in the atom bomb thing, but he didn't. And I don't think that it's because he was letting him have a moment alone because he was crying. I think it's because Homelander thought that his dad, Soldier Boy, was crying because he felt bad about what he did to Homelander. And so he's like, oh, my dad actually cares about me. And we obviously know that that's not the case at all. But that's what I think Homelander thought, and that's why I think he didn't kill him. Another thing that people are talking about is Liberty probably being Homelander's mom, which I think definitely makes sense. I mean, I'm sure the writers would love to seek vengeance on Homelander's character by making him realize that he slept with his mom. So I think that Liberty being Homelander's mom makes sense. But what I also think is that something that always irked me was like after season 3, season 3, when Liberty Stormfront was like all charred up on the bed in Homelander's room, and he just had her like there, I guess recovering or dying, I don't even know. She apparently bit her tongue off and killed herself. Remember? And then they put that all over like the screens, and he was like, oh, everyone leaves me, even her. And in my mind, I'm like, that's such an odd thing. And also, why aren't they showing like the body? Why isn't he going over there to see the body? And I always felt like that was like weird. I assumed in the moment that it must have been like lazy writing or something. But looking back, I'm like, oh shoot, Soldier Boy just said, did you see a body? And that always bothered me. What if it wasn't lazy writing? What if Eric Kripke has not let me down, and it's because she's actually still alive? If she was recovering, they'd sent her somewhere else to recover, and she's still alive. That's what I think. That could be interesting. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Ay, las empanadillas. Delicious. Well, it's 20 minutes now. I'm sure that you're also done with your lunch. So I will leave you. I had a great lunch. I hope that you did too. Mm, yeah, I don't know. Bye.